my sweethearts, welcome back to my channel. I hope you and yours are doing great. If this is your first time being here, welcome. My name is Nkiru. You may call me Kiki. And on my page, I love to talk about fragrances within my collection and also share some fragrance education. Now, I'm going to be very honest. This page is a Middle Eastern fragrance stan account, okay? I love Middle Eastern fragrances. I grew up on them, and as I've grown older, especially in fragrance wearing, I've come to find so many amazing fragrances from, wonderful fragrance houses. And the beauty about Middle Eastern fragrances is that they afford us the opportunity to explore different ranges within the fragrance world, right? You have the higher priced fragrances, and you also have the lower end of the price chain. That doesn't take away the value and the quality of the fragrances that they do offer. And I feel that, within the fragrance community, people need to stop, shaming those who decide to explore the more affordable fragrance houses or fragrances in general, because one, no one has the right to question how or where a person spends their money, and two, just let people be, let them enjoy what they want to enjoy. Today's video is going to be split into two parts because I'm featuring two major houses that are responsible for these alternatives that I'll be sharing. These two houses are known to create so many amazing alternatives or impressions, as well as original creations. The first is the house of Lattafa. Lattafa has been gaining a lot of traction in recent times because of their almost spot-on recreations of popular fragrances. We all know about Ragba, which to me is a great alternative to Bouquet Ideal by Shuyukh. We have Oudh for Glory, which is an outright dupe of Oudh for Greatness by the house of Ishq. They also made the infamous Camera, which most people thought was an alternative or a dupe for Angel Shea by Killian, but in my opinion, the only similarities they have is the shape of the bottle. And of course, they do share the cinnamon DNA, but that's where it ends. And then we have the house of Afnan, which I'll be featuring in the next video. And they are also almost as popular as Lattafa. They're well known for their fragrance series like the 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. series, as well as the Supremacy series. If you'd like to know the offerings from Lattafa that I think are great alternatives, why don't you get settled, get hydrated, and let's get into the video. Lattafa is actually from a parent company called Lattafa Perfumes, which began in the 1980s as a house dedicated to creating luxurious fragrances for, their clientele within the Middle East. They gained so much attention and just interest, not just with local Middle Easterners, but across the world. So much so that in 1992, they decided to create a house dedicated to producing fragrances for their clientele outside the Middle East, and that's what we now know as Lattafa, a standalone company. Now, the parent company is so huge that beyond Lattafa, they have some other fragrance houses, including Rave, Verve, Astaf, Maison Alhambra, and in recent times, Lattafa Pride, which is the higher end, more luxury version of Lattafa, the standalone house. Talking about the Lattafa Pride collection, the first fragrance alternative on this list is called Ishq Shuyukh Gold. And look at this gorgeous black and gold bottle. This right here is a great alternative for Rosendo number 5. Ishq Shuyukh is a recent release and features notes of caramel, saffron, tonka bean, suede leather, amber, vanilla, musk. Right off the top, Ishq Shuyukh Gold reminds me of everything I love about Rosendo number 5. It has that sensual musk appeal. There's the warm creaminess of the amber. The leather here is so rich, it's so appealing. It adds to the sensuality of this fragrance. The tonka bean here is just so enjoyable. Then there's an added sweetness of caramel here, which gives it a better edge or a slight edge above Rosendo number 5. When you just smell it, you can pick it up very at the top. The caramel shines and it stays throughout this fragrance. It is beautiful. This right here, to my opinion, is a more potent version of Resenda number 5. Yes, who would have thought that we could get something stronger than Resenda number 5? Because that fragrance, even though it's soft and very sensual and alluring, it is potent. Ishq Al Gold lasts even longer. This can do a full day on your clothing, maybe like a good 8 to 10 hours on your skin, and then it becomes a skin scent. It is strong. It performs amazingly well. The scent trail is just divine. It projects off of you in a very good way. I enjoy this fragrance so much, and if it was down to Ishq Al Gold and Resenda number 5, I would definitely pick Ishq Al Gold. I mean, look at the bottle, the packaging, and beyond the affordability, the potency of this fragrance is what I love. I don't know if you've heard, but in recent times, there's been a lot of talks about how Resenda number 5 has become reformulated and is a bit weaker. So if you're not one of the lucky few who has like an older bottle of, you know, Resenda number 5, you might experience some level of weakness. So rather than go through that, having spent all that money, I would say pick up Ishq Al Gold. You're getting a better experience for a similar fragrance, and so what is there to lose? A full bottle of Ishq Al currently retails for, I think, between the $50 to $60 range, while a full bottle of Resenda number 5 can be anywhere from like over $180 or beyond, depending on where you get your fragrances from. So when you look at everything in terms of the value, the quality, the performance, comparing this to the recent formulation, Ishq Al Gold makes so much sense. If you ask me, Ishq Al Gold is one of the best date night fragrances I've experienced in recent times, as is Resenda number 5. I cannot imagine that you do not want to wear this sort of fragrance on a date night while hanging out with a loved one or a new acquaintance. You would definitely create a great and lasting impression. And talking about sensual fragrances, next we have Velvet Oud, which is a fantastic alternative to Ombre Leather by Tom Ford. Both of these fragrances were launched in 2018. Velvet Oud features notes of bergamot, cardamom, violet leaf, patchouli, suede, oud, amber, and musk. Similar notes with Ombre Leather, with the exception of a few, particularly the oak moss. The oak moss in Ombre Leather gives it that bitterness that, you know, not a lot of people enjoy, and that's missing in the Velvet Oud. Velvet Oud has that softness in the air. You know, it's the leather here is softer, a bit fresh, and more airy. You know, there's a presence of floral notes, and I attribute that to the violet leaf used in this fragrance. It's sweeter. There's a sweeter quality here. Rose is not mentioned in this fragrance, but you can get that presence of rose when you spray this in the air. This is a feminine fragrance in my opinion. It's lighter, it's more approachable, it's sweeter. It just gives you that added boost of sweetness when you wear this fragrance, but that doesn't take away the confidence factor that is a key aspect of Velvet Oud. Make no mistakes, this is definitely a boss babe fragrance. She is as soft as she is strong. She's as emotional as she's assertive. She takes no mercies. She knows her worth. That is what this fragrance brings and adds to you. There's that added elegance that this fragrance brings to your clothing. It just rounds up your whole attire, especially when you're in a professional space. I encourage people who are meeting like minds in the professional setting to wear this fragrance and just control the room and, you know, move with so much confidence when you wear that, because that's what this fragrance will do to your persona. Next, we have the absolutely incredible Ameer Oud Intense Oud, a beautiful alternative to By the Fireplace by Maison Martin Margiela. My love for this fragrance knows no bounds. As you can see, look at how much I've used in this bottle. I've had this as long as it's been released in the market. This was launched in 2021. By the Fireplace came in the market in 2015. The notes in Ameer Oud are agarwood. You have some woodsy notes here, vanilla, sugar, sandalwood, and herbal notes. This right here is what I call a dark vanilla. There's something very sweet and spicy in this fragrance. The spiciness comes from the herbal notes here. You know, there's the creaminess, almost milky touches from the sandalwood. The sugar here seems caramelized and very sweet. In fact, the agarwood used here has some sweet presence to it, which is quite surprising. So all of these blended together gives you such a unique and very enjoyable fragrance. This is also another potent compliment monster. You're getting your compliments with this fragrance and it lasts so long. I mean, that's also why my fragrance is still at this point, because the way I use this, especially during the winter or colder months, I would have thought I had gone down, but because this is so strong, only a few sprays will suffice. It is so beautiful and enjoyable. I get some slight aspect of nutmeg here, even though it's not stated in the notes. There's also something kind of smoky, like smoky leather, also not present in the notes, but those are parts of it that definitely maybe forms, because when fragrance notes are mixed together, they create unique accords. So I'm guessing those aspects of leatheriness or smokiness that I'm getting are definitely based off how the notes merge together. But this is such a delightful, sweet, spicy fragrance that everyone should experience. Again, value for your money. This potent full-size bottle retails for less than $20. By the fireplace is about $160 full bottle. Look at the mats, and in terms of potency quality, you're getting something better with this one. So for an extra dose of sweetness, you want to get your hands on Nebras. This is a very popular fragrance, which is a great alternative for Eilish by Billie Eilish. Nebras makes me want to dance. You know, I put off getting this fragrance for such a long time, and so I was like, everyone is hyping this up, you know, it's too much. And there was a time last year that my body just could not take anything with cacao or chocolate. I was just nauseated by all forms of chocolate-based fragrance. However, I mean, something changed maybe with the weather and whatnot, and I have been craving more sweetness, more chocolate notes and fragrances. So I decided to take the plunge, and I picked up Nebras, and I glad I went with this purchase. It is an overdose of sweetness. It is rich, it is thicker, it is heavier than what Eilish serves. Both are great, but this to me is better. This was launched in the market in 2022, and Eilish, I believe, was also launched in the year 2022. Nebras features notes of red berries, mandarin, vanilla, cacao, rose, sugar, tonka bean, amber, and musk. Whew. Nebras, this is also perfect for date nights. This is sweet, this is sexy, this is rich. This has just the right amount of fruits mixed with the right amount of sugar. This is like berries covered in, you know, dusty powdered sugar. I love the rich quality of it. The tonka bean gives it that creaminess, also present in the cacao. It's so delicious. It's definitely worth the hype. I adore this fragrance. It is black, so you cannot see how much has been used, but I have used this so much, and I've gotten so many compliments from this fragrance. It's not a heavy projector per se, but it creates a great scent bubble around you. A great scent bubble it created around me that one time at Target, a lady that was shopping next to me complimented me. She wasn't so far away from me, but she just, you know, couldn't stop giving me compliments and talking about how good this fragrance was. So I was glad I got this. I'm really glad I have this. In terms of price point, it's very similar to what you're getting for Eilish as well. So I wouldn't say that cost should be a factor here. Again, like with other fragrances I've mentioned, this performs better than what it's inspired by. And I would definitely say go for, you know, Nebras over Eilish. It is more potent, it lasts longer, it performs better, it's sweeter, it's richer. You have to be a gourmand lover to truly appreciate Nebras. And then can we give it up for this absolutely stunning bottle? To me, this is one of Lattafa's best creations for a bottle. It's literally just like a work of art, black and gold, period. I don't know what this is. It feels so expensive. It's not plastic, it's made of metal. Gorgeous. Next, we have Sheikh Al Luxe edition, and this is an alternative for Oud Bouquet by Lancome. I'm not going to go in depth about this fragrance as I recently featured it in a video. Please check it out. But this right here is my baby. I love this one so much. As you can see from the dent, it's an exceptional creation. It's, to me, a softer version of Oud Bouquet by Lancome. It's sweeter. It has that caramel, which gives it that extra sweetness. It is just very comforting to wear as well. I love wearing it when I want to feel, you know, very princess-like or very feminine. This, to me, is a year-round fragrance. The oud is not so prominent. I get more of vanilla and caramel sweetness from this fragrance as opposed to Lancome Oud Bouquet, which has a heavy dominance of oud and rose. You get those qualities and aspects in this, but not as loud as with Oud Bouquet. This is a gorgeous one. It was launched in 2015. Oud Bouquet was launched in 2014. Similar fragrance notes, absolutely delicious. Would I pick this over Oud Bouquet by Lancome? No. To me, I can enjoy both of them because I love that combination of oud, rose, sweetness in fragrances. So to me, the more the merrier. For the price of $20, I say, hey, give this a try. This gives you an understanding of what Oud Bouquet smells like, even though it's softer and sweeter, but that oud rose is also present here and quite enjoyable. To me, this is also a good way to step into the world of oud and rose, which are two prominent notes typically featured in a lot of Middle Eastern fragrances. Very enjoyable, very approachable. It performs really well, and it's worth having in your fragrance collection. Next, we have Qaed Al Fursan, which is a great alternative to Hatchivat by Nishane. However, this was launched in 2016, while Hatchivat was launched in 2017. But you know what? It is what it is. Qaed Al Fursan is a juicy, smoky pineapple fragrance. This fragrance feels like the ripest, sweetest pineapple was plucked and grilled and put into a bottle. That's what you're getting with this fragrance. It features notes of pineapple, of course, saffron, jasmine, balsam fir, amber, cedar, and agarwood. If you're worried about the oud, don't be scared. I don't get much of oud here. What I get is some woodsy aspects to it, which is surprisingly not listed in this fragrance. Again, the key player here is the pineapple, which is so sweet, juicy, and very, very smoky. This fragrance is very potent, and I believe it's the balsam fir which gives it that extra kick. Balsam fir is known to be very aromatic, very fragrant. It has some warm sweetness to it nonetheless, and I think that aspect kicks up the performance of Qaed Al Fursan. This is very, very enjoyable on men, on women. It is very delicious. Stays on for a long time on your clothes and on your skin. It really, really works so well, and it's very sweet, like I have previously mentioned. Look at this bottle. We need to give it up to Lattafa. Lattafa is one of the best in terms of creating bottles that are just exceptional. I mean, it's magnetic. How many fragrance houses do you know that are very affordable yet deliver when it comes to their packaging? Lattafa takes the cake all the time. One of the core differences between this and Hatchivat is that Hatchivat has that freshness, like greenness with it from, you know, the citrus notes in there, while Qaed is more fruity, more tropical in its presence, and it's sweeter. Also, Hatchivat has the oak moss, which gives it the bitterness somewhere at the background. Qaed Al Fursan is absolutely sweet. There is no iota of bitterness in this fragrance at all. In fact, some people consider the sweetness to be too much. So I would say be very careful in how you spray this. If you want to experience like a sweet, smoky pineapple fragrance, similar to what you're getting in Hatchvat. This is a no-brainer. Definitely get it for less than $30. You're getting a full bottle of this fragrance that will last you a long time and definitely earn you compliments. And finally, we have Qaed Al Fursan Unlimited, a flanker of Qaed Al Fursan, and this gorgeousness is a great alternative to This Is Her by Zadig and Voltaire. This was released in 2022, and I'm surprised that a lot of people are not talking about this fragrance because it's absolutely delicious. This is a creamy delight. The actual notes on this fragrance are really not obtainable on the internet, but from what I can smell, there's a sweetness from vanilla, sugar, and some sweet florals, which I pick up as Lily of the Valley. There's the creaminess from coconut, amber, and tonka beans, and whipped cream, as well as milk. And there is some spiciness from what I can smell as nutmeg at the background. This is an absolutely delicious and quite enchanting fragrance. It is potent, very mesmerizing, definitely a date night worthy fragrance to have because the sillage here is just very enjoyable and addictive, and it projects. This fragrance also lasts very long, so be ready to smell this on your clothes the very next day. It is very feminine to my nose, so this is what a lot of women enjoy and will enjoy if they want to have this in their collection. I would call this more of a cold weather fragrance. You don't want to wear this in the heat because of the creaminess and the nocturnal vibes that you're getting from this fragrance. I also prefer this to This Is Her because of the spicy kick that I'm getting from here, which is not really present in This Is Her. I don't really enjoy fragrances that are linear in terms of their milky or lactonic qualities. It makes me nauseous. So having the spiciness here just changes that aspect to it and makes it more enjoyable for me. So that being said, if you want to get a fragrance that is similar in terms of, you know, the key nuances of This Is Her, definitely check out Qaed Al Fursan. For the price point, you are not breaking the bank. This retails for less than $20 for a full bottle, and it's absolutely exquisite. And that's all I have for the House of Lattafa. Great stuff, right? Have you heard about these? Are there some that I should know about? Please let me know in the comment section, and I can't wait to read from you. And please do not forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and share it with your loved ones. And coming right up is the video for the House of Afnan. Do check it out.